Well, hi guys, and welcome to another video here on my channel, Watch channel. If you've seen some of my previous videos, the most recent, I picked up a nice watch, nice diver watch when I was in San Francisco a couple of, no, 3 weeks ago. I was in San Francisco and I found this nice little watch shop in Chinatown in San Francisco, and I picked up a really nice piece, which I have been looking for a little while. It's not a rare piece, but it's a quite cool piece that at some point somewhere on the internet it's sold out. And well, it's a nice diver watch. And well, let me roll the intro and we'll get right into the review of this nice diver watch. Thank you. Okay, and here we are from another perspective, and well, as you see here, this is my setup for this review. Some of the other divers, and there's actually a point of with them being present at this review, because I'm going to compare the Citizen Promaster a little bit with these other three diver watches, affordable diver watches. And well, as usual, just a quick wristwatch check. And today I'm wearing a true vintage watch, the oldest watch in my collection, and also the most beat up watch. And this is the obscure Atomic. And I know nothing about this watch. What I have been able to research on the internet is that it was probably sold in France at the beginning of this 1970s. So it's an old watch, and it's quite amazing that it's still running. It's with a manual winding, and it's still running, but this old green bezel won't turn anymore. And when I got it, it was really dirty and banged up. But I think it's a cool, nice little diving watch, old diving watch, and it's amazing it's still running. And what's even more amazing is that actually at the three hands, minute, second, and hour hands, the loom is actually still working. So it's quite amazing. But as you see, it's quite banged up, which is also kind of the charm. But the brand is called Atomic, and from what I know, it was sold in France, and I know it was also sold in Turkey. And they may have some kind of affiliation with Breitling. But if any of you out there know anything about the brand called Atomic, and it's Atomic with a K as the last letter, not a C, please contact me, because I'm really interested in knowing more about this brand. So this was just a little wristwatch check, and a little well, the little history about this watch, and hopefully some of you know something about it. But well, back to the review. And actually, even though it's only in the start of August here in Denmark, it's rainy and it's gray, and it's definitely not summer. So when I picked up this the watch I'm going to review, it was extremely hot in San Francisco in California in the US, where I went on holiday. And I found this little watch shop in the Chinatown part of San Francisco. And this nice gentleman, a middle-aged Chinese man who owns this watch shop, I will put his address in the description here, just if you want to visit his store. He was actually carrying a lot of Citizen and a little bit of Seiko, some other brands, and a lot of Casio, especially the G-Shocks. He had an extremely big selection of different G-Shock watches. So if you are looking for these kind of brands and you're in Chinatown in San Francisco, you should pay him a visit. He was a really nice and a fair gentleman. He was actually also ready to haggle a bit about the price, so I got it at a fairly good price considering it was bought in a physical shop, a boutique, and not ordered from over the internet. And actually it was quite interesting with this Chinese man, because his watch shop actually carried a lot of discontinued Citizen models. So if you're ever in his neighborhood and you're interested in Citizen watches, you should pay him a visit, because maybe you can find a gem of a watch that is actually discontinued. So I almost bought a golf watch, not because I'm a golfer, but just because it was a really cool watch. But the problem was that the crown was placed, so actually if you're not a golfer, it looks kind of weird on your left wrist, because the crown is pointing inwards. So well, just a quick little mention of these watches. If you've seen some of my other videos, this is a watch that I really love. It's of course no Submariner or Omega Seamaster or anything, but it's a cool, very affordable and extremely well functioning diver watch, and it's with the famous Citizen solar powered technology Eco Drive. So this watch just keeps on going. When it's fully charged, it will run for half a year, and then you need to charge it again with a lot of sunlight or some artificial light. So I'm just having this watch with me in this review, because it's a Citizen Promaster, another model, and because it's also equipped with the Eco Drive technology. And also, if you've seen some of my other videos, of course, the Vostok Amphibian. This is an automatic watch, but when we're talking about affordable diver watches, I wanted to include this just to talk a little about the pros and cons of this compared to the Promaster we're going to take out of the box in a few seconds. And of course the Seiko Monster, which you will also be able to see in a few of my videos. As you can see, I fitted this with a green military green NATO strap instead of the rubber strap, and it works perfectly. It's actually the same with all three watches. When we are talking about watches in this tier, the lower tier, definitely the companies have saved the money when it comes to the steel bands and the rubber straps, because they're not as high as of a high quality. And so often I will fit these watches with another strap, another steel band, or bracelet, or with a NATO. So well, let's have a look at the watch I picked up. And as you can see, it comes in this well, cardboard box with the Citizen logo. Now there's zoom. And when you open the box, you get an explanation of the Eco Drive technology. And they say a watch that never needs a battery. I've seen somewhere that some places that Citizen actually almost promised that the battery or the technology would last for a lifetime, but I think my guess would be that at some time it of course needs a service. But inside we have this nice, it's like a cardboard the watch box, and the guy in Chinatown was an official Citizen retailer, so of course I got the manual and the guarantee, and it actually comes with a 5-year guarantee, so that's quite amazing. I bought more expensive watches that comes with a lot shorter warranty, so that's actually quite cool that you get 5 years. Here we go. And well, let's have a look. Here you have it. And I've been wearing this for a few weeks because I bought it at the beginning of my vacation, and actually because I needed a more casual diver watch. I only brought my Rolex GMT Master but walking over the Golden Gate Bridge and taking some long walks in a really hot climate, I wanted a more beater-like watch. I've been looking for this model with this design for quite some time, so I'm actually really happy I found it. And of course you can get it off the internet, so it's not like a rarity or anything, but you can get it off the internet if you want. But I think it was quite cool just to try it on in the watch shop, and immediately I knew that I needed to buy this watch. And there you have it, Citizen Promaster Eco Drive. And let me just get rid of the box. Let's put it over here. And if we look at the specifications, let's just have the specifications out of the way at the start. Here my Hamilton watch tool, which I'm going to use as a pen or a pointer. It's of course the Citizen Promaster, and the reference number is BN0151-17L. This watch also comes in other colors, and you can also get this watch with a steel bracelet, steel band instead of the rubber. But for me, when we're talking about these kinds of diver watches, I actually prefer them to be on a rubber strap, or on a maybe some Kevlar, or some or maybe as you see here, NATO straps. I don't really like to have these kind of diver watches on a steel bracelet. My Omega Seamaster is of course on a steel bracelet, and that's because the steel bracelet is of a much higher quality than the bracelets on these watches, which is actually something I'm going to get into at a later point, because I think it's something you should be really aware of when you buy a watch at this price range, which is around $180 to $250. You should be able to find this watch and the others as well, as I just showed you, at this price range. Actually the Vostok and the other Promaster you should be able to find at around less than 100 for the Vostok, and maybe around $150 for the other Promaster. But I will leave, if you just look here on top of the screen, you will get some links to both the reviews, and actually also a link to the review of the Monster, if you're interested in seeing more of these watches. So if we look at the specifications for this Promaster watch, well, we got a case diameter of 44 millimeters. And I'm really not into watches that are much larger in diameter than 42 millimeters. I think they get too big for my wrist, which is around well, in American 7.1 inches, I think. It's around 17.5 or 18 centimeters in metric measurements. But it feels more like actually it feels a lot more like a 42 than a 44, so I think the specification is bigger than how it actually looks and feels on the wrist, so that's good. And if we look at the case thickness, we get it's 12 millimeters. So 1.2, and the log width is 20 millimeters. And do we have a date display? We get that. it's a date. You get it with a date display, not a date display as you would see on the Seiko Monster. So only the date, and actually I think that's more than enough. Usually I know what day it is, so I don't need that that complication. So yes, and the color is blue. And when we get to the movement, it's of course the Eco Drive movement. They call it the caliber E168. And the water resistance is down to 200 meters. So more than adequate for a watch of this kind. And actually I would say that when we look at watches like this watch, I doubt how many people, professional divers, are going to use this watch. But if you like to stay outside, or you go to the beach, or you go to the pool or something, or well, just as here right now it's raining, this is more than capable of handling that. And if we take a closer look at the watch, you will see a nice blue dial here. And you will see we got an orange minute hand, and we see a white hour hand and a white second hand. And the Eco Drive dive is 200 meters, and the hour markers and the indices are fitted with creamy white loom material. The strap is a blue rubber strap, and here you have the mathematics for diving limits. So it's actually it's got the look and the details of a professional diver, but I doubt how many professional divers actually dive with this watch. And if you look at the back, you got the Citizen and the Eco Drive, and you got all the logo and everything. And a part of this watch I really like, which we also see on some of the Seikos, on the SKX 007 and 009, as well as the Monster, is the place where they have fit the crown. And I think that's actually a really nice thing, that on some of these watches you fit the crown down here at 4 o'clock, and some of them are 5 o'clock. But around 4 o'clock, closer to 5 o'clock, around 4 o'clock is actually a cool detail. Not that there's anything wrong with fitting the crown here at 3 o'clock as usual. It's more common. It's made of polished steel, steel, and it's polished. And what I really like about this watch is the design. There's something, it's a really well thought and unique design. When we look at the bezel here, we got the pearl here, so you will always know where 12 o'clock is if you don't turn the bezel. And you see this design, this part of the design, these drillings are actually really handy when you're turning the bezel, which turns like a dream. And we've got a 120 click bezel on this watch. If we look at the crystal, you see here it's fitted perfectly with the bezel, so it's not domed as you see on the Vostok. It's fitted, which is actually a good thing for the design, I think, because it's quite a watch with a heavy presence, and it's quite thick, so you should of course watch out how thick you make it. And the crystal is mineral crystal. And well, let's just try it on. I just need to get this old diver. There's 40 years age difference between these two watches of my hand. Of my wrist. Okay, here we go. And let's put this on. Okay, here we go. So you see here my 7.1 inch wrist, 17.5 or 18 centimeter wrist. It fits really good. It fits really well. I think the deeper blue color is a really cool color for a watch like this, and this also actually comes in an automatic version in black. So if you're not into the more quartz-like eco drive movement, you can actually get this in an automatic version, which is about double up on the price. I think it's about 400, maybe even more, up to $600 or $700. It depends on where you find it, and it's got its presence. It's a quite heavy watch, and but it feels extremely comfortable to wear. Even when I was out walking a lot of miles in a really hot climate, it felt extremely nice to be wearing. And actually, before I complained about the rubber strap and the bracelets and the bands that comes with a lot of the lower tier diver watches, especially for Japan and Russia. But actually, this is a rubber strap that feels extremely comfortable to wear. It really doesn't look like much, but the quality is definitely there. So I would recommend that you try it on. If you got a chance to try it on, it's not everybody that loves these kind of rubber straps, but I think this is one of the best rubber straps I have tried for a watch in this price range. So as something new, I'm actually going to rate some different points about the watches that I review, and they will come up on the screen in a moment. And until then, I just want to say, please remember to like, subscribe, and comment my videos. And you can write me on my email address, and you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And just here at the end, just a short comparison to the other Citizen Promaster, which you have the link up here right now for the review. And I actually, it's a tie. It's actually a tie. There's no winner and there's no loser here. They're both great watches at this price point. And this, of course, is a little bit more expensive, and it reeks a little bit more of quality. The design is also more unique. This is more anonymous. But I think the overall quality is a little bit better, but it's not much. It's definitely not much better. And just a little curiosity, this watch in the automatic version is actually it's actually used professionally by some parts of the Italian military. So that's the automatic version, of course. I doubt how many professional divers use this watch, but maybe I will get wiser. If you know anybody, please let me know. So thank you for watching, and in a few days I will come up with a review of another diver watch I have picked up recently, which is a whole lot of price range than this, but a beautiful, very nice watch. But I must say I enjoy this watch immensely, and I can really recommend this watch for anybody who's looking for a cool diver watch that is not too expensive, and which has some really cool history and some nice details, and a watch where you really excuse me, I just forgot to show the crown with the logo, so that's a cool little detail as well. But a diver watch that where you can really feel that they have really thought about the design. It's really professional, very nice design. And here at the end of the video, I will just show you a loom shot of this watch and some close-ups. So please stay tuned. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment my videos. It's really important that you do it, because it's a big motivation. So thank you so much for watching, and until next time, thank you. Okay guys, and here we are with the loom for this watch. It's a nice, like, it's a blue, it's like ocean blue loom, and the pearl at 12 o'clock, which is by 9 o'clock now, because I just turned the bezel, as you saw, is more green, and it's not as shiny or intense as the looms you see on Seiko watches, but it's a really good high quality loom, I think. So I think it really fits really nice with the blue kind of color for a blue dialed and watch. So here you had the loom.